Permutations and combinations in Algebra 2. First thing we want to talk about are combinations. And a combination occurs when you have a selection of R objects from a group of N objects. And the big thing you want to remember here is order does not matter. So the order in which you select these certain objects does not matter. N represents the total number of choices that you have, and R is the number that we want to pick. And this is all done in your calculator, and your steps are you hit the math button, and then you arrow all the way over to probability, which is PRB, and combination is option number 3. It is the C method. So if we look at our first example, your English teacher has asked you to select 3 novels from a list of 10 to read as an independent project. And how many ways can you choose which books to read? So if you have a list of 10 books, does it matter if you read one of the books first versus one of the books second and third and fourth? No, because the teacher just wants you to read 3 books total. So in order to find this out, we always put our bigger number, the total that we have, that goes before the C. So in this case, the total number of books that we are selecting from is 10. It is a combination, so we write the letter C, and we want to select 3 of them. Now we can just go to our calculator. So we would hit our math button, arrow all the way over to PRB, and we want option number 3. So mine is actually an old school calculator. The software is old school because you can tell because ANS pops up. Yours should have 2 little blinking boxes next to it. And if you don't, that's okay. If yours is on the old software, here's what you need to do first. You always need to type the 10, or in this case it's the 10, but you need to type the larger number first. So we're going to say 10. Now we're going to hit our math button, arrow to prob, go to option 3. So now N represents 10, and then we just need to type in our R, which is 3. Hit enter. So our answer is 120. Then in the second example, your friend is having a party and has 15 games to choose from. There's enough time to play 4 games. And how many ways can you choose which games to play? So I have 15 total, so I know that. Now, is this a combination? So does it matter if you play Monopoly before checkers? No. So it is a combination because the order does not matter. So 15 is my total. It's a combination, and I'm choosing 4. So again, when I put this in the calculator, I have to type 15 first, math, over to probability, and we want the combination. We're choosing 4. So our answer here is 1,365 ways. So that is your overview of combinations. The other type is a permutation. And the big thing to remember about a permutation is that the order does matter in how you choose. It's the same as my combination, where N represents my total number and R represents the number that we want. And if you notice, it's the same calculator steps, but instead of using C, we're going to use P for the permutation. So looking at example 1, I have 12 skiers are competing in the final round of the Olympics. And how many different ways can the skiers finish the competition? Assume there are no ties. So for this one, I have 12 total skiers. Here the order does matter because finishing first is very different from finishing 12th. So I have my 12 total. I know it is a permutation because the order matters. And I want to see how all 12 finish. So again, because I have the older version of the calculator, I need to type 12 first, and then I'll hit math, arrow over to probability, and this time choose option 2 because I'm doing a permutation. And I want that with all 12 skiers. We hit enter, and it is a large number, and that's okay. But this is our answer. So we have 479,001,600. Now if we look at example 2, I have 10 students and they're nominated for your school officer board, and the positions are president, vice president, historian, and secretary. How many different ways can the officer board be elected? So again, this is one where order matters because being president is very different from being historian. So I have 10 total students. It is a permutation because my order matters, and I am only selecting 4 because we have the president, the vice president, the historian, and the secretary. So I'm only selecting 4 positions. So again, we go to our calculator and we need to type in 10 first, math, over to probability, option 2, type in 4, hit enter, and we get 5,040. So there are 5,040 ways to select your officer board.